G'day, Jason here from In Search of Australia. Today I'm along the Abercrombie River banks at the Abercrombie Junction Campground. I've researched it a bit and I'm going to try detecting because there was a video that showed supposed nuggets. I'm a bit spurious about that, so we'll see whether there's anything like that or whether you can find it. And I'm also going to pan both ends of the bend. One because one's a drop off, and at the front end of the bend is where the heavies usually are. So at the junction of the Abercrombie and Tweena Creek, or Tweena River, looks like there's been some major flood activity and a lot of erosion. This will be really difficult to actually dig in anywhere, probably without falling in some deep water. So I might give this part a miss. But the flood must have been considerable. There's stuff up in the tree just up here. And you can see where this has been pushed over. It seems pretty recent too, because it looks like a lot of areas were wiped out. It's only just growing back. And these weeds pushed over. They don't look that old. I'm assuming this person died in the river, so even more reason not to tempt fate. Even the blackberries have had a bit of an issue with this flood. I'm here at the back end of the bend where everything slows down near the bank here, and you can see little eddies in the water because the current is over the other side, and you'll probably see things drifting by there, a little bit of foam. And I'm hoping the gold has just dropped off here. So because I'm trying to sift through things faster, I found that going to the gem sieves through the buckets was slow going. So what I've made is another little attachment for my bucket, just out of some mesh. And the idea of this is to get even the larger stones than the gem sieves get, and get rid of those from the beginning, and then do the rest. So it just fits on, like so. Made it a little bit below the lip. Hopefully I can fill it with water and wash things in. If it doesn't work, I can refine it and probably drop it in a little lower. But the idea is to put the heavies on it, and then I can tip them off afterwards. See how it goes. That's working way better than I thought. So I think what's happening is, as the sand and stuff goes in, it's pushing the water out, which helps wash it. So first pan, little speck of gold there. That's a good sign. Well, I've got 5 specks in 20 litres of material, so I'm going to move on because that's far too much work for too little. So this is the beginning of the bend upriver. As you can see, there's some rapids over there, and then a massive body of water here. You can see all the flood affected areas, and then really large boulders just up here. So I'm going to try close to the water first, and then I might try up under a few of those areas there. Interestingly, at this end, the gravel and soil doesn't sink through so easily. Can't tell you how much easier it is after sifting through that thing I made. It's another tester at the upriver end of the bend. I dug a little bit of gravel out of this area behind the dead tree here. You can see where I was before. Issue with this is it's really hard work to get to it. So you've got to remove rocks, try and get the gravel and so on. So digging behind the tree where the rocks were, got that flake of gold. Well, this upper river end is really hard work. Too hard work for me to keep pursuing. I got 2 specks out from behind the tree, the dead tree. I guess if you're willing to go through all of this rubble and get to the lower areas, there might even be more there. I don't really have the equipment to crowbar it out. And I did want to try and do some detecting because in a video I saw here, someone suggested there were nuggets. I'm actually doubtful and be interested to see what I get other than garbage. The other thing that's around here is heaps of goats. I haven't been able to catch them on video yet, but when I arrived they were just moving out of the way of the car. You hear them every once in a while, and some sound really weird, I have to say, but they're around. Goat tracks. Here's the goats. So as you can see, there are lots of goats here. I didn't expect to be able to catch them. So some absent-minded fool, called Jason, forgot the plastic trowel that goes with the metal detector. So I'm going to have to improvise. Now, one of the problems with the metal detector is that if you put your hand there, your hand can actually set it off. So what I'm going to do, hopefully without cutting myself, is create just a little trowel out of this bottle. That should work. Just might cut off those little bits there. Now you might be wondering why I made that little plastic bottle trowel. That's because your hands set off the detector. Now the area I'm going to look at is away from the campground because I really want to avoid aluminium as much as possible. I know that there'll be heaps there, as well as bottle caps. So if there are nuggets around here, I should be able to find one, I imagine. But to be honest, I'm doubtful, and you never know. We'll see. hot rock. Another hot rock. Lots of hot rocks. The gold monster can get confused as to which type of metal it's detecting, depending which angle you come in on the swing. But I double check, and at the moment I think I'm just going to get done by hot rocks. I've found a few other things, but I'll show that at the end. When I arrived here last night, it was getting dark. You could probably understand I felt this looked a little bare and not that comfortable. But as I approach this sign over here to look at the Macquarie perch sign, I noticed the campground down there. So what it does have is pit toilets, I haven't checked yet, and an unusual amount of memorials. Toilet's not operational. There's a reason why. They've just been trashed. That's why we can't have nice things. It's interesting to see this sign here, the Burralong Frog. The existence of this actually closed down the fossicking areas around Native Dog Creek, so they seem to think we can look after it by just a sign here, but lock off Native Dog Creek. I guess it's more a tell of the fact that a lot of prospectors just don't look after the place. And talking about looking after the place, I don't believe that people just leave things like that. If you can bring it in, you can take it out. Abercrombie Junction Campground is considerable. When I look around, there's signs of past activities of rope swings and chairs that have been created and ladders up trees. But at the moment, it feels like one of those deserted fun parks where not a soul is around. So that's to put a shower up. Play some cricket. Apparently get free Wi-Fi. Some card has painted that. Now once again, I have to get the magnifying glass to show the specks that I got. It is mixed in with a bit of black sand, not really worth writing home about. I picked up obviously the hot rocks. These iron-rich rocks. I still got aluminium foil. Someone had gone out there and probably had a cigarette wrapper or lolly wrapper or something and threw it away. A little piece of rusted iron. And finally, what I believe led to the idea that nuggets were found. So what I've got here is a bit of aluminium that was buried quite deep, and to me it looks like it was probably in a fire and got melted a bit, but then got buried for a long time, and with movement of gravel and the river and pressure and things, ended up looking very nugget-like. Now, when aluminium's melted with various other things on it, I think it could take another colour up. This one's obviously silver, so it was really obvious to me it wasn't a nugget, but I'm wondering whether those nuggets were something more like that. So the Abercrombie River does have gold. Bit hard to work for, but when is it ever easy? Lots of hot rocks. Doubt there's nuggets, even though this video I saw suggested it. So the next episode will be a double banger of Tuina and Trunky Creek.